We've got another top of the table clash coming up today because apparently that other team in Manchester have decided to wake up and it's become a little bit of a three-way battle for the Premier League this season. Hello and welcome to part 194 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're away against Manchester City in that top of the table Premier League clash, plus away against Hibs in the Champions League first knockout round, first leg. I'd like to think that's a game we should be able to win. They're not even top of the league in Scotland. I don't know if they won it. Okay, they have won it for the last 3 years, so not quite the walkover I was expecting. Hearts have got a player called Holmes. I think I've tried to sign him in the past. I certainly looked at... He's English, I think. So I looked at him when I was England manager. There you go. Never made it back to England after going to Hearts and scoring lots of goals there for a long time. So I can understand why he never decided to come home. But we're not playing Hearts. We're playing Hibs. And we're not doing either of those things now. We're playing Manchester City. Since you were last with me, this is what's been going on. Everything was going lovely until we lost to Chelsea. This game against Brighton, though, this was a proper look at just how good the next generation was, or is. This is basically the home wonderkids. So you've got Joksimovic, cracking game. I mean, even Juranovic is still young. Juranovic is only 23 years old. Hervé just a little bit older. Becker is only 26, although he's got over 50 international caps. Aleph, still only 21 years old. In midfield, we've got Mendes at age 21, alongside Slomer, age 21. Flager, the old man of the team, at 27. Only 8 caps for Germany. It feels like he should have played for them more times. Man of the match, Drame, scoring 2 goals, 19 years old. Diarra, also only 19 years old. And then Blish up front, only 20 years old. And we absolutely destroyed a Brighton side with Saidi in goal, Akamo up front. It's not like it's a bunch of nobodies playing for Brighton. I don't know what division they're in now. They are still in the Premier League as well. So our kids have destroyed a couple of our old boys and a mid-table Premier League side. I'm so glad I've decided not to end the save when we were in the Champions League. I've never really done this on YouTube before, where not only do we look to try and become dominant, but we also try and bring through a load of youth players and do the whole Wonder Kids thing. And they're there. That generation is there. The moment we win the Champions League, they're in. I mean, some of them are forcing their way in now. And this is the team that we're going to be playing against Manchester City today. And as you can see, we've got Drame in that team. Costa still injured. Drame is really turning into a player, starting to justify spending £32 million on him. Ignore that rating. That average rating doesn't take into account the fact that, okay, he had one good game. I thought he'd been doing better than that for longer. He won the Premier League Young Player of the Month, I think. Oh, that was back in November. It's February now. Oh, I've been playing a lot of Football Manager over the last couple of days. That genuinely, I think, was only yesterday. There we go. He's playing anyway because Costa's injured. I guess Mendes is the other option, but I've committed to Drame now. So we're going with Powell in goal, a back four of Kandemil, Dranovic, Lee and Meyer. Zupancic and Cristiano in midfield. Young, Drame and Goff behind Thor up front. One other thing as well. You may have noticed when I showed you the fixtures before, I had to replay the 2 matches from the last episode, which would have been, I don't even know where that was. I think it was Espanyol. God, we've played a lot of matches since then. I had to replay these 2. The game didn't save properly after the Wolves game. I think we won them both in the episode, but that's the new alternate history that we're working with, even if we didn't. And even if we drew that or lost that in reality, because I don't remember, we then drew our next 3 Premier League games anyway to balance it out. So, yeah, that's a thing that happened. Let's get into the game. Hopefully, knock Manchester City off the top of the Premier League, re-establish ourselves as league leaders so we can go into this Champions League game bristling with confidence, which, frankly, we should be anyway, because whatever happens in this game, it's been another very good season so far. Man City are the one team I don't think have bought a player off us yet. They just seem to... I guess it's because they've got so much money. They just buy their players from the real cream of the European crop, which I guess we are now, but we're no longer a selling club. When was the last time we sold we sold a player for big money, like a player we didn't want to sell. I think it's going back 2 or 3 seasons to when the likes of Jimenez and Ricardo were leaving to go to Arsenal, and Dianzi and Thompson went to Manchester United. I'm trying to think of any other real regular first teamers that we didn't want to sell. Obviously, we've sold Alves since then as well, but we kind of didn't want him anymore. But yeah, it's probably a good 2 or 3 years since we were forced into selling players. There was an offer came in for Lee from Barcelona during the transfer window. It was like £75 million offer for Lee, and I turned it down. He came to me and said, I kind of wanted to go there. And I just said, yeah, but you can win things here. And he was absolutely fine. No forcing through the move. I think 2 years ago, and that was very similar to how Dianzi left. I think 2 years ago, a player in Lee's position there digs his heels in and says, no, I really want to go to Barcelona. And then we have to sell him. But now we're in a position to say, no, you stay here and win your stuff here. And he just agreed, which is lovely. We're 1-0 down, which is less lovely. Powell comes out and collects from the free kick, though, and we start to build again through Juranovic, who plays it forward to Kandemil. Kandemil into Zupancic. It's just going to be a big old counter-attacking goal straight from goalkeeper to goal. Thor gets his 10th goal of the season. Both Thor and Mira have started scoring now after what we were talking about in what I think was yesterday's episode, where I was speculating that the game wasn't allowing them to score goals. I think as we've become less dominant, it coincides with Cirillo and Costa being injured, so not playing as many games, or any games while they've been injured. And because the team itself has become less dominant, those two have started to score. And I prefer it this way. I'd rather not dominate, but have a 30-goal-a-season striker. There's very few things in life I like more than a 30-goal-a-season striker in Football Manager. And we've got another potential break on here, but something has happened. We've won a free kick for something. I don't know what. I guess I won't argue, although it did look like Thor was potentially in if play had been allowed to continue. Goff plays it through to Thor, who scores again. It's his 11th of the season now. And just before half-time, we go 2-1 up against top-of-the-table Manchester City. And Thor's hammering them. You're lucky I haven't done that more often since we signed him. Whew. Right, half-time, 2-1 up. That's better than I was expecting at certain points of that game. But let's give it a don't get complacent and see what we can do in this second half. It's going to be another game where Flager's going to feel a little bit hard done by to not be on the pitch, because arguably Flager has been our player of the season so far. I think he's still our top scorer, and he plays a lot of games. Goff, I'm surprised Goff hasn't come to me asking for more first team football, because he always plays in the big games, but any opportunity to rotate and Flager is in the team and Goff sits it out. I guess Goff's just enjoying the fact that, I mean, he's still only 28, but he's playing like 20 games a season. He's just got his 9th goal though. John Goff is a superstar. I think it really helps that our very best player, who I think John Goff is probably, if we were to get the editor out and have a look at current abilities, I imagine Goff probably is the best player at the club on that basis. And I think it's quite handy that we get to keep him so fresh, bring him in for a game like this and have a fully fit John Goff against a Manchester City team that have just come off the back of a very hectic Christmas period in January. Although you wouldn't know it from Goff's conditioning because he's already tiring. Thor has just scored his hat-trick in the most delicious of ways. It said on the bottom there, wow, genius from Thor. And I don't know if I can put that any better myself. This is a sensational goal. If this doesn't win goal of the season, I don't know what does, because that was just brilliant from Thor. 12 goals for the season now, 3 of them today, in a game where we remember Manchester City were top of the league going into this match, and we have just ripped them apart. Mendes is going to come on for Drame. I mean, that's a terrifying substitution to be able to make. One of the best young players in the world coming on for one of the best young players in the world. Ben Young not having the best of games out on that left wing, so Mira can come on for him. And you know what? We're going to go for the 3, and we're going to bring Slomer on in midfield for Cristiano. That's how good our youngsters are, that we can bring 3 of them on just like that. And yes, I'm including Mira in that number as youngsters, because I think Mira is still only about 22, 23 himself. In fact, we can double check. Mira is ageless, apparently, because we clicked on him and nothing happened. We'll have a look at Mira's age in the next little gap in play. And remember, this isn't even our first choice team. Becca, I would suggest, is... Oh, look at this from Mira. Look at that! If this goal from Thor isn't goal of the season, I don't know what is. Hold my beer, says Mira. Look at the state of this from his own half. Past 1, past 2, past 3, and goal. That is a world-class goal from a world-class young player who... I'm trying to click on him again and it's still not letting me. Zupancic now. Are we going to score 6 goals away from home at Manchester City when they were top of the league? Thor to Mira. Mira crosses to Goff and Goff, it's just over. This has been one of the best performances I've ever seen from a team of mine in Football Manager ever. And there is number 6 and it's John Goff. I think it's been disallowed actually for offside. We're going over to the little telly and it has been disallowed. It would have been lovely to score 6, but I think 5-1 away against top of the table Manchester City, that sends a message in and of itself. Right, Mira is 23 years old still. We've got the best young players in the universe. What a result. What a performance. This has got to be the season, hasn't it? Watch us go and mess it all up against Hibs now. Because I think I'm going to do a bit of a rotated team, which is probably a bad idea. But, oh, I don't know, Leeds, Everton, Wolves. Perhaps we don't need to rotate too much against Hibs. Just a couple of changes then. Obviously, Mira comes into the team to start on that left-hand side after that goal. And Flager also comes in on the right-hand side because he's Flager and he's been awesome. So he should absolutely be coming in. The one other decision was whether to play Drame or Mendes. I've gone with Drame. Mendes may well come on fairly early on in this match. But look at the state of that bench. Any one of those 7 players gets into any other team in the Premier League. I like this team a lot. A few people have said, am I going to do the LOLLUJO Cup Final or the LOLLUJO Charity Shield at some point and play this home team against the Sevilla team from non-league to legend? I've got a suspicion I don't have access to the Sevilla team anymore because I don't think I saved it before we went 5 years in the future, which is why I wasn't able to release the save because I'm an idiot. If I do still have access to that team, you can guarantee I'm putting these 2 teams up against each other because I've got to know who's better out of this team and the Sevilla team. And I suspect we're getting to the point now where this is the best team, possibly the best team I've ever had in Football Manager. I always say that as we get towards the business end of a save. It always feels like we've got the best team we've ever had. But, I mean, look how good this team is. And we don't even own our own ground. This club is going places. It's only existed 20 years. Flager now with the corner. Thor just over with the header. And it would be nice to open the scoring sometime soon, please. Do you not remember what we just did against Manchester City? Thing is, we've gone back to dominating the game again, which is problematic for getting our strikers to score. If we're admitting that theory is a thing that exists. But we've utterly dominated the first half hour of this match. Had 1 clear-cut chance, 2 half chances, not scored any of them. And I would assume both Mira and Thor are probably on quite low ratings as well. Flager plays it into Thor. Thor is there. Thor scores. The theory is nonsense because Thor has just got his 4th goal of the episode, his 13th goal of the season. And on the stroke of the half-hour point, it's Hibs 0, home 1. This is a Champions League game. Who'd have thought that 10 seasons ago? Never mind 20 seasons ago. But lovely finish from Thor. He is... He's slowly transforming into the player we thought we were signing 18 months ago, which is nice. I thought we were bringing in the best striker in the world or the best young striker in the world, and he's finally starting to look like that. And if Mira's going to turn into a fantastic inside forward on that left-hand side, all the better. I can live without Cirillo in this team if it gets Mira and Thor playing together and playing well. The other option, of course, is to actually just play them up front together, but that just seems too easy. Plus, if strikers are getting... And I know the theory is wrong, but if strikers are getting penalised, you don't want to play 2 of them, do you? That's just silly. Then you're playing with 9 men, and that's harder than playing with 10 men, I hear. Flager finds Thor with the corner and it goes just over. He could have had his 5th for the episode there if he'd have just angled that header down just a smidgen. Drame, he's going to be coming off in a minute, as is Zupancic. They're both changes I considered doing pre-match, and the fact that neither of them have really performed in the game just makes it all the easier to make those 2 substitutions relatively early in the second half. Get Mendes and Sloma on there to see if one of them can provide a little bit more creative spark. Thor's taking free kicks now. When did this become a thing? Right, who are we going to do for our final change? We've got Aleth on the bench, but Candemil is playing very well today. We've got Goff, but Flager's playing well, but is tiring. Ben Young for Mira might be the best shout, actually. Get him on that left-hand side, playing as the inside forward again. See if we can't get another goal for Ben Young, who did score his first goal for the club, but just a little bit later. He did it in a league game rather than, I think it was against Espanyol in the matches that never were. But hopefully he can get his first Champions League goal. In this match, Cristiano is in miles of space, but completely wastes it trying to find Meyer. Why he doesn't take that on and have a shot, I don't know. We've all seen Cristiano score from there before, but he just seemed to not really know what to do. He's putting a good tackle there, though, and we are building things up down this right-hand side. Meyer into Cristiano, forward to Flager, who's got options ahead of him. Thor beats his man and hits the post, and Young is there, and Young does get his first Champions League goal. It's Hibs 0, Home 2 on 91 minutes, and Ben Young, after spending £50 million on him in the summer, finally has his second goal of the season. Don't judge him as a striker. He's barely played as one. And he's just a handy utility man to have. He's like an attacking version of James Milner. That's what I view Ben Young as, and he'll be a part of this squad forevermore. Flager tries to find Thor. Thor is there, and we've got a third. And I was going to say that seems a little bit unfair on Hibs, but then look at the stats. Look at the stats. 3-0 is about as... I mean, it's a little bit closer to fairer on us. I would say probably another couple of goals and it would be a fair reflection of the game. But Thor now has 5 goals in this episode. It's fair to say his goal drought is over. Hibs have gone to a back 3. I don't know what they're thinking, but hopefully it gives us time to go and grab a 4th. Mendes is looking to do exactly that, plays Flager in, and Thor's in the middle again. And I've said Flager and 4 there because I'm getting my mouth confused. There we go. We used the right TH thing there. Stop it, Kev. Just get rid of Thor. He ruins your mouth. Right, Juranovic. Why is the game still going on? We're into the 95th minute now of 94. And Hibs are now trying to get in with a little tackle. Look at Lee. 95 minutes into the game. He's still there to just get us out of trouble when we need to get out of trouble. The unsung hero of the team. Good old Lee Tai-Hwan. And there you go. That's a pretty convincing first leg victory, and we'll be back tomorrow with the second leg. So there you go, Manchester United and Hibs tomorrow. The big games in the Premier League keep on coming, and hopefully we also just rubber stamp that and make our way into the Champions League quarter final. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.